So the main theme for today's chat is going the extra mile. And for any of those of you that are unsure what that means doing more than is expected of you. So it's all the little touches, and quite often we do go the extra mile as dance teachers, but it isn't seen as the extra mile because it's what is expected of us as dance teachers. Our parents see it as part of our job. So all those long days that we do at competitions and showcases and things, we think, oh, I just give so much, but quite often those parents will just see that as part of our job. So I'm not talking about those sorts of things today. I'm talking about other bits and pieces. So all little touches that you can add into your studio that can help just make people feel that little bit more special. So number one, when somebody comes for a trial, one of the nicest things is, rather than when they come through the door to have their trial class, is that you know their name. And I track all my inquiries, as you know, on Trello. And I have a little tab for each teacher, a little label, and they can view the Trello board. And so they know when somebody is coming for a trial class. And on there, it will tell them the child's name. And it's expected that they would welcome the child by their name. Quite often when you go to kids clubs and things, you'll have the child come in and they'll say, okay, darling, what's your name? Which is absolutely fine, but how much more special does it make that child feel, and how much more welcome and comfortable if you can go, oh, hello, you must be Florence. Immediately they feel a little bit more relaxed. So that's one little touch. Another little touch I like to do, again, talking about trial classes, is buddying them up. So as soon as they're through the door, you want to get one of your children who's fairly confident, but not overly confident and empowering. So somebody who's going to make them feel welcome, but not sort of overwhelm them, to be their class buddy. And that, again, will just help them settle in, make them feel welcome. They've already made a friend. They don't feel quite so overwhelmed. So that's another little touch. Something else that I love to do, staying on the theme of trial classes, is give a little enrollment gift. So we give a little bag. They get a little tote bag. I don't know if I've got any down here. This isn't the one. We do give a slightly smaller one, but this gives you an idea. So we have a little tote bag, about half the size of that, which we give out to our pupils when they come to trial. It's just a little bag. So even if they don't come back and they reuse the bag, it's a bit of free advertising tip there. So they have that little bag and it's got their welcome letter and everything in. And now we're giving out these awesome bracelets, which I showed you last week, which has our school mantra on, which says, I'm bold, I'm brave, I'm strong. So they get all that before they've even signed up. Okay, so this is just when they come for their trial. And then when they do sign up, they get their complimentary t-shirt. So again, that's nice little touches you can do. So popping introductory or free trial classes, whatever you like to call them, to the side. We're going to move on to what you can do for your existing clients, because you don't always need to go out advertising and spending lots of money to get new people through the door. The quickest and fastest way to make more money is to look after the people you've already got. So little things like thank you cards. If somebody's introduced somebody new to your studio, if you take the time to say thank you through a card, or if you get them Costa Coffee voucher, or just ring them up and say thank you so much, or drop them an email, they are going to do it again. If they feel like you appreciate it, they will do it time and time again. So just little things. Things like seasonal gifts. So do you give anything out at Christmas? So I think we've done things like little candy canes at Christmas time, little bags of sweets with our logo on the sweetie bag. It doesn't have to be super duper expensive, just something small, just to say thank you for being with us. We appreciate your custom. We love having your child with us. It doesn't even have to be a physical gift. I know everybody's on tight budgets, especially at the moment. It could just be a postcard in the post, or even just a Christmas card is just a really lovely personal touch. So I wanted to recommend to you a book that I read, and it was actually gifted to me by a friend, and it's called The Go-Giver Book. And when I read it, I was just like, wow, this is incredible. There's so many amazing ideas in there, and it's all about the more you give, the more you get. And it's got some lovely examples and ideas of things you can do in your personal and professional life to give more. And the book is by somebody called Bob Berg. And I'm going to read you a quote from it now. Sorry, I've got my notes down here. That's why I keep looking down. So your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. So what he means by that is, how much are you giving? We can all charge exactly the same, but we can see more value for money if we're giving more. So I charge a £20 enrolment fee when people sign up with us. I've never had anybody complain about that. No one else around here does it. We also charge for a trial. No one else around here does that. I've never really had anybody complain about that either. A couple of people do question it. And it's because we give them so much value. We make them feel so welcome when they come. So if you give people lots of value for what you're charging, they likely won't question what they're paying for the service because they feel the value. You've just got to make sure they know the value. Another little thing is just take time to get to know your customers. Don't have your students and their parents as just another member, another number through the door. And this is why I really don't like to have big classes at my studio. And I'm not saying that that's right for everybody. I know lots of you like to have big full classes because you like the atmosphere, and that's absolutely fine. Every studio is different. I like to try and keep 15 or less because I really like to get to know the kids on one-to-one. I feel I teach better when I've got less children. I can give them more time. And also, you know, there's that little bit more of a personal touch, and the kids get more from you individually. They don't just feel like another person at the back of the class, and their parents feel as well that, you know, they're not just a number in the class. And I make it very known to our parents, yes, we are a little bit more expensive here, but your child is in a smaller class. They're given more attention. You know, they're not just thrown at the back and ignored and told to copy along like lots of other schools do, because they have to fill their classes because they charge so little that they have to have 30 in a class just to cover their costs. So yes, I am one of the more expensive schools round in my area, but I'd like to think that we really give the value. Now, you have to give the value, but you also have to make it known. So we make it very clear to our parents that here, this is what you get. You get small classes, your kids get more attention, you get good quality teaching. You have to communicate that as well. It's not just about doing it, you have to communicate it. So another thing that you can do that's just going the extra mile is, quite a lot of times businesses make mistakes. We all do it. We're human beings. But lots of people won't retract what they've done and apologise or correct their mistakes. There's just purely out of pride probably, but it always makes you seem like you're going the extra mile if you then retract what you've done, admit your mistake, and do something about it. So we had this week a bit of a disaster here at Elite headquarters. So we changed our amounts of our direct debits, and for some reason some of our customers had been double charged, which it shouldn't have happened. Complete software technical error. One charger should have been replaced with the other. It didn't happen. Some people have been double charged. So I've made sure straight away that we're onto it. We're sorting it out. I've cancelled the second charge, which means I'm actually out of pocket for a few days. But I don't want my customers charged double charge. I've got out of my way. I've communicated with them. I've been onto it straight away. So yes, it is a pain in the bum for them because a couple of them have had the charges already taken. But I've put my hands up. I've said, I'm really sorry. It's not entirely our fault, but it's my system. So that makes it a little bit my fault. And I'm onto it straight away. So hopefully we haven't got too many angry people. So whenever you make a mistake, just go that extra mile to make it better. Okay. And if that means then you put it right and you write a little card to say thank you for your patience while we sorted this. We really appreciate it. You know, it's just little things like that that make people feel special. So another thing is, don't be afraid to get feedback. And this is something I used to absolutely terrify me. I used to be too scared to ask people for feedback. But how can you improve what you're doing if you don't know what the problems are? And the best way to do this is to send out a survey. I love sending out a survey now, and although some of the answers I don't like and they're a little bit cringy and you think, oh God, I wish I'd never done this now, at least if you know the problems, you can do something about them. Okay, so be brave, send out a survey, call up people and say, how are you finding your Zoom classes, especially at the moment? We did a few calls round and emails to people that hadn't been coming to our Zoom classes. I asked people how they were finding them. Most of our students were happy, but a few of them said, we're missing the face-to-face interaction. And that's why I was so keen to get some outdoor classes going. So, you know, if I hadn't have asked, we would just powered ahead with Zoom, and some parents would have gone, oh, you know, she's not really enjoying it, I find it difficult to engage her. So ask, please ask. If that's one thing that I can give you, is ask. And people love to feel like you're listening to them. So even if your answer is, you know, I can't do anything about the situation, but I really appreciate your feedback, they feel heard, they feel listened to, they feel valued, and they are more likely to stay with you because they can feel that you are taking on their feedback. And that's all that some people just want sometimes, is to be heard. They don't expect you to be able to solve every single problem, but they want to be heard. So one sort of fact for you is people value more than low pricing. So what we mean by that is people aren't necessarily looking for something cheap, they're looking for paying the same or slightly more, but getting more value for money. So the more you can give your customers, the more value you can add, the happier they're going to be. It's not about throwing discounts here, there, and everywhere. And I can tell you that hand on heart, because recently we've had to revise our payment structure during lockdown, and that's meant that I've had to take away the discounts from some of our senior students. They were getting a really heavy discount on doing 10, 11, 12 classes, which meant they were getting a discount which I could not afford to give them anymore in the current climate. And as much as I hated to take it away, and I was absolutely terrified of the backlash that I might get. And yes, there were a few people like, oh, you know, that's going to mean we're going to have to drop a few classes. Yes, people have dropped a few classes, but nobody has left. I've explained the reasons why to them, why I've had to give them this discount, and we've gone out of their way to accommodate their needs in other areas. And people know they're getting value for money here. I've explained to them that now we're not giving such a big discount, that they're going to be in slightly smaller classes, some of them, but it'll mean that the dance school can continue to grow and flourish, and we can continue to give them everything that we are at the moment. So yeah, that, you know, giving value is not always about the cost. People value our classes, and that's why they were sort of not super duper shocked or outraged when we had to make this change in the discount system, because they really value what we do here, which is lovely to know. So I'm going to give you an example now, some fantastic customer service, just an example. So this isn't dance related at all, but I'll give you an idea. So the Ritz in Carlton, there was a little boy who left his giraffe, Joshy. The parents rang the hotel and said, oh my goodness, we've left this giraffe behind. We desperately need it. It's our son's favourite. So the parents had explained to the little boy that the giraffe was on an extra long vacation. Now the hotel could have just posted it back or said to the parents, come and get it. But what they actually did was took a number of photos all around the hotel for this lovely little boy, and they popped the photos in the box when they posted back the giraffe to evidence that he had been on this lovely vacation. So this story that the parents had fabricated seemed super true, and of course those parents were so grateful because it meant it didn't seem like they lied to their little boy, and it was so lovely and such a lovely touch. And of course I bet those parents have gone back to that hotel. So another book I want to recommend to you today is one I've read more recently, and that's How to Win Friends and Influence People. I'm not a fan of the title because it just seems well, I'm just not a fan. It just doesn't seem like an amazing title to me, but it is an amazing book. I haven't actually written down the author, but I will get it and I'll pop it in the comments. I love the book. And just one of the quotes from the book is, 3/4 of people you meet are hungering for sympathy. Give it to them and they will love you. So by that, the author means, you know, people just want to have somebody understand and empathize with them and listen to them and be kind. It doesn't take much to be kind, and if you can give kindness and thanks and love and joy, people will be so grateful for that. You don't need to go around telling everyone how amazing you are to win friends. All you need to do is listen. And I know that's talking from a friend concept, but the book is a business book, and it does talk about it in a business format of how, you know, you could reflect that away from your personal life and into your business. So again, it's just about all the little touches that we have discussed already. So just going out of your way to make people feel heard and listened to, and, you know, not giving orders. questioning people. So there's an amazing quote by Sir Richard Branson, which I'm really a huge fan on, and it says, if you look after your staff, they will look after your customers. And I really, really, really try and follow that as best I can, because I am super grateful for all my team. I think they're absolutely incredible. And I feel if I treat them fairly and look after them, that they will do the same to my customers, and they really, really do. They're an amazing team. So if I try and include them in on decisions. So we're going away from customers now, we're talking about your team. If you include your team on discussions and feedback and ask their ideas and give them a little bit of leeway to come up with their own ideas. My team have been amazing in lockdown. We had one teacher come up with wake up and warm up, which has been a huge hit with our kids. We had another teacher, Sarah, she's listening now, who came up with our NHS dress up for the NHS week. So we raised some money for the NHS, and also the kids had an absolute blast, and it was great on social media because people were tagging us and the teachers were sharing pictures of their crazy wacky outfits, which was amazing. But if you are kind to your staff and you give them sort of freedom to do what they want. So I know lots of people give, when they do their showcases, they give their teachers what they want them to choreograph to. I like to give them freedom. I like to include them in decision making. When I'm doing timetables, I like to involve them in that rather than just say, here's your timetable, this is what you're doing. So little things like that really make a difference. And if you are doing those things for your teachers, they're going to do the same for your customers. And I really do have an amazing team, which I'm very grateful for. So talking of going the extra mile, I've been thinking of how I can go the extra mile for you guys, because I'm so super grateful. We've got almost, I think, 350 in the group now, which is incredible. I'm so grateful that I'm able to share everything with all of you. And what I wanted to do is just show my thanks to everybody in the group. So you may have noticed that I've got my lockdown activity book for sale now in my shop. Now, as a member of the Dance Teacher Tribe group, I would like to gift this to you absolutely free. I know you're all struggling at the moment to try and just keep swimming and keep afloat. And as a member of the Dance Teacher Tribe group, I will be giving you a copy of that lockdown activity book completely free. You can personalize it for your studio and send it out to your pupils. It's got things like word searches, coloring in, and hopefully it'll be a really amazing thing for your students to do during lockdown, and it will make them love you even more than they already do. And I've got another announcement. On the 13th of July, we're going to have a guest speaker, and her name is Dawn, and she is the Entree Money Coach, and she is absolutely fantastic. I've recently, sorry, I'm just going back onto my Facebook because it seems to have hopped off on the Facebook. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. There we are. We're back. Sorry, guys. So, yes, we're going to have a guest speaker on the 13th of July. Her name is Dawn. She's the Entree Money Coach. She's absolutely incredible. Recently, I've had a intensive course with her myself on my own studio finance. She's incredible. She helped you work out exactly where your studio's at, where the holes are in your ship, let's call it, where the money's falling out, and how you can repair those holes and get things going again. So she's going to be coming on the 30th of July to speak to you incredible dance studio owners about how you can lockdown proof your business to make sure that you come out of this thriving and not just scraping at the pennies and getting by. So hopefully you'll find that of value. She's absolutely incredible. I can highly recommend her. She does do intensive courses or weekly ones. If you're interested, I can give you her details. But she's going to give us some amazing free content on the 13th of July. So pop that in your diaries. It will be likely in the evening. So let me know if you have any questions for her that you're dying to ask. She's an absolute expert. She's not only a dance teacher, but she's trained in accounts too. So she is everything that we need right now because she understands our industry and she understands the money side of everything. So tune in on the 13th. I'll pop the time up slightly closer to there. So that's a couple of weeks away. But that's with Dawn, the Entree Money Coach. So pop your questions below. So if you have anything specific that you're dying to ask her, do let me know. I know she'll give quite a lot of information out And then she will also have a little Q&A at the end. So if you've got any questions, she'll be there to answer them as well. But if you think of anything in the meantime, let me know. But thank you so much for your time today. I'm going to pop this video up on my YouTube channel. If you haven't got me on YouTube, it's Done For You Dance. Find me, subscribe, and all these videos now are going to be saved and popped on there, so you can go back and watch them over and over again, so to hopefully help you. And if you've got any questions about today's chat, please inbox me. I'm here to help you. That's what we're here for. Or pop them in the group and we can all chip in and give our advice. But have the most wonderful week, and hopefully it'll be a successful one for you all. Get thinking about those little touches you can give, and if there's anything you've come up with that you think might be of benefit to anybody else in the group, please share. But have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and take care, everyone. Stay safe.